So I've been in XRP since about 2017. I have watched every wave with conviction, from the low lows to the high highs, and I sat still. It's something different during the first phase when you get into an asset class that's new and you watch it rise and you see your portfolio go bonkers. But there was something deep inside of me that told me I shouldn't falter. I sat back and I watched my investment go to extreme heights. And something deep inside of me told me this isn't it. You've put everything that you've had into this moment. And to simply cast it out, sure, it could have put me into a position where I would have been better at the time, but would it have done the things that I truly wanted in my heart to happen? And I really had to look at myself and realize that this investment for me isn't about me. It's about something much more important. It's not about materialistic things. It's not about being able to buy a nice house or pay off debts or make my life better. I realized very early on that this isn't just an investment. This is essentially generational wealth. It's not easy to sit through phases of the market sitting at 10 to 12 cents. During bear markets, they were opportunities for me. And I took those opportunities and I just continued to stack. And the more and more that I stacked, the more and more that I realized that this wasn't even me doing this. It was like something internally was telling me that this isn't a simple buy, hold, and sell. This was so much bigger than that. This was about breaking generational curses for my family. There's nobody else that was thinking this way. And while my friends were out having children, were out partying, were out doing things that I would have loved to have done, I sat and I grinded. I worked. I didn't take vacations. I put everything that I had into something that at the very core of myself, I knew would change the course of history for my family. During that time, though, there were absolutely phases of doubt. I had people telling me I was a fool. I had people bringing it up at conversations during meals, like, hey, how's your portfolio doing? Oh, it's doing all right. I got mocked. I got laughed at. I was told I was investing in internet money, and I don't blame them for thinking that. I've done everything my entire life the hard way. I have done everything that was against my family's values when it comes to school, when it comes to trying to build a future. I chose to drop out of high school. I went straight into the workforce. I worked my ass off doing a job I hated. And even then, I did very well at that job. It wasn't something I wanted for myself, and I knew that. I knew that this was not the end-all be-all for me. I knew I deserved more, and I wanted to give more to the people that I love, and I knew that this was not the pathway. And that was somewhere around, I would say, 2008. And eventually, I would say on broadcasts that had heard about Bitcoin, had heard about it, I heard about it going to extreme heights and stuff like that. And, I really looked into Bitcoin and I started to truly try to understand what essentially crypto was and what exactly it was leading into as the world progressed, and learned about the financial crises after 2008, started to really understand money and how it works and how the system is rigged, and it's meant to siphon money from you. You are meant to work, pay bills, and die a slave. And I didn't want that for the rest of my family. I see them struggle every day. I see them go to work. I see them hate their jobs. I see them struggle at every aspect of what they do. And the only thing that they look forward to at the end of the day is the weekend. And to work a 9 to 5 days a week, and your only freedom is the weekend, says to me that this system is corrupt, it's broken. And I needed to find a different way to progress. I needed to find a different way to build myself and build my future. As I was working a job I hated, I came home and started building myself up in the industry that I became incredibly successful at. And I'm sure that many of you have maybe seen my videos. I'm sure that many of you have watched it throughout the years. The things that I've put out, that stuff came from the soul. It was something that I didn't need to do. I didn't get paid to do it, but I did it in the face of expressing myself. And it actually helped other people with the same sort of conviction that I feel I was getting from somewhere else completely. It's not even my own conviction. I was agnostic, never denied the fact that there could be a possibility of God. I just never had a true faith. Even though my family is faith-based and Catholic or Christian, I just never really leaned into what that meant and what it was. And that started at a very early age for me. It was something that I felt I didn't really need in life. And over time, I started to realize that these synchronicities and these things that were happening and the way that I saw things and the way I started meeting certain people that opened my eyes to the world of where we were heading. It made me realize, holy shit, this system is being propped up to fail so that they can introduce an entirely new system. And that was what digital assets were. It changed the fundamentals of who I am as a person. So to see your crypto go incredibly high and to watch it drop insanely low and be mocked and laughed at, and every single community comes after XRP holders. I mean, every community hates us. And what I saw were people fall. I saw people get scared during the lawsuit. I saw people falter and get out. And I saw people profit. I saw people change their lives for the better. But how long did that last? How long did it last? In reality, not as long as it could have, not as long as it should have. And so something deep inside me told me to just hold. No matter what, just hold. Even if the ship sinks, hold. And that was scary. It was scary to take a chance like that, to not worry about a 401k, to understand it's manipulated, to understand that it's a game. And I was tired of having my life and my family's lives controlled by a system that is meant to make you a debt slave. I understood what Bitcoin was, but I also saw its flaws. And so when I came across XRP, it truly opened my eyes because it made me realize these assets don't really matter unless they have a use case. Sure, you can hold on to something like Bitcoin and it can be a store of value, but it's only a store of value if people see it as a store of value. Once you lose confidence in a network, that network falls. And without some sort of utility behind that asset, it has no real future in changing or making a dent in the universe. So when that lawsuit happened, and I saw fear and panic across the board for every single person, I knew that I wasn't wrong about this. I had done extensive research. I had worked with Darren, and, God rest his soul, the guy changed my life, and we worked very closely together on so many things, and he was a really great ally, and it's hard to see him gone. It's hard to see other people in the community that didn't actually get to see what we see today. We get to see clarity, and right now we are on the absolute cusp. And everybody always says, oh, it's soon, and I got tired of that. I'm tired of hearing that. I stopped listening to people on crypto Twitter. I stopped listening to hype artists and these people that essentially, are just using this as a way to manipulate XRP holders. Now, although there is a fundamental truth behind some of the things that they would say, they had a reason to say those things because they were getting paid to say those things, just as people that were against XRP would get paid to disrupt it. We've seen that in the Epstein files. We've seen things come out about how the lawsuit was a complete manipulation. We saw how many people were getting paid out to slander Ripple. We saw how many people were paid to slander XRP, and it's out of fear. Why would you fear something that you think is a piece of shit? Why do you even care? If you think it's going to fail, why do you care? Because deep down, it is a threat to the paradigm they were trying to build. XRP is a finite asset, which has now been declared as a digital commodity. The reality behind that is years and years and years of suffering. Even in the face of government corruption, so many people still held on to their conviction. Many fell. I have seen the space completely collapse in on itself. I've seen the community doubt themselves. I've seen people turn over to other things like Chainlink or whatever. And I'm not here to stop them. I'm not here to stop them and make them go do what I think they should do. By all means, it's your money, man. It's your future. But I can only describe my conviction as something much further along than what I am as a human being. It's much bigger than me. The reality is, this was not me. This was divine intervention. And I wouldn't have had the strength against so many things in my life, even with COVID and the way that people treated me like I had leprosy. I couldn't go see my niece because I refused to get the shot. My newborn niece. I had family that were treating me like I was an outcast. And I am so thankful to have so many people doubt me in my life, because it has made me a stronger person. It has made me love. It has made me have empathy for others. And it's taught me not to judge. It's taught me that people are asleep. It's taught me that people don't understand money. They don't understand the corruption. They don't understand the manipulation of the Federal Reserve. They don't understand so many aspects of what it takes to see your portfolio go from extremely lows to life-changing money and be able to sit there and say, no, not now, not yet. Something else is coming, something bigger is coming. And people will call me a fool today even for saying this, but the reality is, for me, that dawn of time is on its way. And all the little things that have happened along the way are only proof to that. I'm not affected by looking at my portfolio and seeing it down 80, 90%. I wasn't afraid during the SEC lawsuit. I knew what it was. I did my research. I understood the laws behind it and essentially what they were doing to try and stop it. I knew it was a ploy that was completely done as a manipulation. There are so many people in this community that get manipulated by hype boys and get manipulated by people that are making money off the backs of their stupidity. Stupidity is a rough word. It's a harsh word. I would say it's more ignorance. But I think in time, my true idea of where this is going, this is the global financial system at the brink of unleashing its true power across the globe. And to be a part of that journey from the start, to withstand all the doubts, to withstand all the pressures to be weak, to throw it off and realize that this isn't me, it's something higher that's telling me that I just need to hold and I need to have conviction and not be afraid. I could lose everything tomorrow. It could have been a mistake, but something deep within my soul is telling me otherwise. And I'm not going to ignore that. It's the same sort of conviction that I had when I was younger, when I told myself, like, hey, I want to get into media. I want to get into creating YouTube videos. I want to create things for myself and use my soul to build something that I think is beautiful. I have been very blessed in my life to work for massive companies, to change their minds and change their vision and teach other editors and teach other people the knowledge that I gained over the years that I had to build on my own. I had no teacher. I had no schooling. I did everything the hard way. And for me to give up on what I believe is a generational curse breaker for my family is just something I simply cannot walk away from. I hope that over the years and the patience that you guys have learned, that this journey wasn't just about wealth. This was something that you needed to suffer through so that you could learn from it. And that's the most beautiful part about what this is. I could lose all that money tomorrow and still be thankful for the lessons that I learned and the conviction that I had, because it taught me that I am so much more than what everybody else thinks. I don't need to have people's acceptance. What I need for myself is to just trust my gut and trust that what my conviction is saying is correct. And I think time and time again, it has been proven that I saw what was coming. I continue to see what's coming. And I'm not ready to give in anytime soon. I hope this message reaches those people that have struggled as much as I have. Since 2017, being in this industry, from having nothing and trying to build something that breaks a generational curse, it was not a coincidence that you are here in this moment. to experience this life, to go through the suffering that you have. Because when things finally pan out, and the things that we've talked about for years finally come to fruition, it will be a massive reckoning for so many people that they simply will say, "You got lucky." But I know deep down, this wasn't luck. This was well beyond even our own ability to understand. Almost as if we were chosen to do these things. I hope that you are smart enough to know that what you hold isn't just generational curse breaking. It can change lives for so many people, and so many people I know that are in the XRP community are amazing individuals. I hope that you take this experience and you help others, because you guys are the true trailblazers. Something put this in your path that was beyond our understanding. And I hope that many of you will take this opportunity and apply it to so many different facets of your life. Because as much as the journey has sucked and it's been painful, and I have starved, and I've chosen to hold instead of giving myself a little bit of a break, I think at the end of the day, all that suffering made life worth living. And that's true power. One day you will look back at this journey and you will laugh. While everybody else tells you you were lucky, you knew. You know what it was to go through this, and there is nobody on the planet that understands it better than you and the people like myself who went through it. Do the world a favor and be that shining light. This is not about rubbing it in other people's faces. It's not about getting accolades or saying I did this or I did that. You don't need to prove anybody anything. The only person it matters to should be you. You proved it to yourself, because you don't need anybody else. And that's the most powerful thing that you can ever have, is the confidence to know that even in the face of scrutiny beyond what most people could ever experience, that you held strong and you did what you felt was right out of selflessness, because you wanted to change not only your life but your family's lives. All I can say is the time is close. You just can't fall in the pitfall of watching it go from $1 to $10, $1 to $20. It's okay to take off 10 to 20%. Get yourself out of the debt, get yourself out of the bills, make sure you look out for your taxes. But at the same time, understand that there are things that are going to be built in the future that allow you to use your crypto in a way that you can borrow against it. That's what the rich do. Do not fall victim, because most people do not understand how to handle generational wealth, and they get sudden wealth syndrome and they completely go bankrupt within 3 to 5 years. Do not allow this to happen to you. Even when this thing goes to insane levels, still work for a little while. Understand what you have and get a grasp on it. And just understand you have the ability to have extreme patience in the face of total scrutiny. You need to even do that when it comes to, I'm ready to retire. Build upon what you have. Make it work for you for the future. Make it work for your family for the future. I don't believe that we as a community were brought here to face all these trials and tribulations just by chance. I think it was divine intervention. And that may sound like hoo-ha to some people, but this is coming from somebody that was agnostic. And there's been too many signs in my life that have showed me that this is much bigger and much deeper than we could ever possibly understand. Stay true to who you are. Don't allow money to change who you are now. During the person that is struggling, during the person that is dealing with wars and manipulation and viruses and all these things that the world throws at you, do not change and become the person that wastes away all this pain and all this turmoil. Learn from this. This is where true grit comes from. You can change the lives of so many people, and I hope that you stay true to yourself when that moment comes.